Hello everybody and welcome back to Star Trek Online. So it is the 12th anniversary, which means a new mission. Just one this time, as opposed to sort of the norm. Generally speaking, these missions, ever since they stopped doing the whole one big story arc thing, which I think the last big one would have been Legacy of Romulus or whatever it was called. Since then, they've generally just done these shorter story arcs where they've done like 2-3 missions at once, with the exception of Gamma Quadrant, where we got, if I recall correctly, the entire thing except for the last mission home. If I recall correctly. But as a general rule of thumb, basically since Legacy of New Romulus or whatever it was called, they've usually done these whole 2, 3, maybe 4 missions being added with content releases. This time, however, and last time, we only got the one. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. These missions have actually been probably some of the better missions that they've done for a while now. I really do think Firewall and Redshift have been actually really nice missions. But yeah, so let's go ahead and actually hop in. So this time we are obviously doing the mission Redshift. A Terran attack on Jupiter Station has left a lot of death and destruction in its wake. Were the Terrans simply probing Federation defenses, or was there something more significant about Jupiter Station that they were after?
There's been an incident at Jupiter Station. Admiral Janeway is leading the relief operations there and has asked for backup. I'd like you to join the Admiral at Jupiter Station and provide any assistance she might require. Be prepared. If the Terrans are bold enough to strike at the very heart of the Federation, they must be up to something big.
Roger that, Admiral. So let's go ahead and turn back around, because I had to fly a bit away from where it dropped me out when leaving the Sol system, because somebody had as a noisy engine is really the best way to describe it. There we go. Had to get a little bit closer.
Good to see you again. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. The Terrans hit us pretty hard today. Several of our ships are in trouble. See what you can do to help out. We'll talk more once we have everyone out of harm's way.
Understood. Commencing rescue operations.
Whatever medical teams you could spare would be most welcome.
Obviously, the good to see you again, Admiral thing doesn't quite make sense for this character because we've never actually seen Janeway and never interacted with her.
Away teams received.
But my understanding is that some of the Gamma...
Juno, we've lost main power. Any engineering support would be helpful.
About to say Gamma Quadrant, excuse me. Some of the Delta Quadrant missions, or actually I think basically all of them.
Thanks. We'll get your people back to you as soon as we have things under control.
This is Chief Engineer Jarrett of the Akron. We're out of time. Our warp core is going critical, and we can't eject it. We need to evacuate now!
Janeway has replaced Burgess, or whatever his name was, as the quest giver for most of those. Transporter rooms prepare for emergency transport operations.
Evacuate as many people as possible from the Akron before their warp core breaches.
There's 2 more groups to beam out. I'll buy you as much time as I can. The last of us are ready for transport. Hurry! The core's about to breach!
And let's get away.
That's everyone. Get to a safe distance.
Obviously, we're flying with the
treated us well. I'm going to miss her and her captain.
brand new fancy Type 7A.
Losing the Akron wasn't easy to watch, but you saved the survivors on board. That's what matters the most. Well done. This situation is getting complicated, and officers like you can help me get to the bottom of things. Let's meet on Voyager to go over this in person.
As I was saying, we are flying around with a nice new fancy Type 7A hull material, though we won't really get to see it in action much in this mission, for reasons that I'm going to not spoil, but that's all I'm going to say, is that we're not going to be seeing our ship all that often. Understood. Helm, take us into transporter range with Voyager. Damn it. They broke something with the UI, so those chat menu, or those, you know, those pad, whatever you want to call it, communications don't always allow you to press the F key to interact with if you don't click on it after it pops up. I don't know why, it just does. Voyager, permission to beam aboard.
Granted. I'll meet you in the transporter room. Welcome aboard. There's a lot to discuss and very little time to do so. Walk with me. I'll get you up to speed on the way to the conference room.
Yes, 1 second, Admiral. Just want to note, yeah, they didn't quite deal with the fact that comm badges float off of female characters so damn often. Like, even if you don't kick the bus slider up to like maximum, a lot of comm badges tend to hover quite noticeably, especially compared to males. Lead the way, Admiral.
Here's what we know so far.
Okay, come on, let's walk.
The Terran fleet warped into the Sol system unchallenged. Somehow, they managed to bypass all of our security measures.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
You saw what they did to the ships near the station. Once they dealt with those ships, they raided the station itself. Their objective was unusual, even for Terrans.
Actually, that's a pretty high quality plaque.
Putting it mildly.
Hello
Right.
there.
Let's get down to business.
Yes, we'll talk in a moment. Damn, that is actually... I didn't notice this when I was playing on my main, and I don't recall ever paying attention to it the few other times we've been on Voyager, but this is actually a really high quality frickin' plaque. Like, you can actually read that, holy shit. Hello, Lita. It's a pleasure to see you for the upteenth time. Also, do I have the Odyssey uniform on this character? No, I don't think I do. Oh, I do. Okay, wonderful. Let's switch to that.
As you know, the Terrans raided a secret research station in the Izar system earlier. They stole a large amount of classified data during that raid, which you managed to recover. Starfleet intelligence believes they found what they were looking for in that data, and it led them here, to Jupiter Station.
Interesting. Go on.
I'm bringing in a consultant to assist with this briefing. Someone with first-hand experience of the incident at Jupiter Station.
You're gonna love this.
Just gonna ignore that my uniform didn't change.
Told ya.
If you're finished gawking... Believe me, I don't want to be here any more than you do. Let's get this over with. 14 hours ago, I led a Terran strike force operation to Jupiter Station. All right, let's get started.
I suppose Mirror Janeway is one way to refer to a consultant.
The operation is about to commence. We've entered Federation space undetected, thanks to security codes obtained by Imperial agents. By the time we drop out of warp in the Sol system, it'll be too late for the defenders of Jupiter Station.
I do want to go ahead and just say real quick, I do actually kind of prefer this sort of lighting a little bit more than the USS Voyager lighting. I don't know, I'm not too big on the blinding white light everywhere. this is actually lighting that I can live with. This is actually decent. Like lambs to the slaughter.
This plan is reckless. Even for you, Marshal. We're not dealing with a legion of witless cyborgs here. And I'd rather not end up in a Starfleet prison for the rest of my days. Or, you know, dead.
Also, it's interesting that Tilly has apparently managed to somehow link up with the Mirror Universe. I mean, I know the last time we saw her, she, like, pissed off and went and did her own thing. But I am curious as to how she managed to get in contact with the Mirror Universe, switch over there, somehow managed to still be a captain. You know, I would not have been shocked if they were like, you're from the 23rd century Mirror Universe? You're gonna have to start from scratch. I could see that being the case. I really could. Granted, of course, because of the way the Mirror Universe is, she probably just killed a whole bunch of people and managed to get herself back into position as a captain. But nonetheless, it is interesting that she is somehow managed to link up with the Mirror Universe of today.
Your position is noted, Captain. Perhaps you'd like to voice your concerns to the Emperor? It is his plan, after all. No? Anyone? I didn't think so.
Not really interested in losing my position.
Fortune, as they say, favors the bold. If we succeed today, the favor of the Emperor will be ours. So, please, summarize our mission objectives, Marshal.
Also, this is a nice slick uniform. I love it. Cryptic, please add it as a account unlock uniform, please. Either include it as a reward for a mission or add it to the C store or Z store or whatever you want to call it. Do not make it Lobby. Please, for the love of God, don't make it Lobby. Because I've only bought a handful of stuff out of the Lobby store. A couple of uniforms for like 3 of my alts, but generally speaking, I don't care to touch stuff if it is not an account unlock. I really hate character bound stuff in general. So, like I said, Cryptic, please, for the love of God, make it an account unlock uniform, because I do like it. It is a nice, slick looking uniform.
Very well, Inquisitor. Listen closely. Once we arrive at Jupiter Station, we'll offer them the chance to surrender. They may show their bellies without firing a shot. If not, we'll deal with them and board the station. We will find the Emperor's prize, secure it, and return to our universe, and the great reward that awaits us there.
For the Empire.
It's about time. I could use a good fight.
This isn't the 23rd century. Battles aren't won with karate chops and smirks.
Also,
Bloodthirst built the Empire. You'd be wise to remember that.
It has served you well so far, Captain.
you done? As I was about to say, Mirror Janeway is buff. Jesus. Okay, let's go ahead and head off to the... Oh, never mind. It's up a level. Okay, deck 4.
If it gets in the way on our mission, I won't hesitate to put you down.
Yeah. Stop flirting with me. You'll make Camargue blush.
Do recall that Marshal Janeway does not suffer fools. And we are on her vessel.
You're not going anywhere but the grave.
I think enough of this. Time for you to die.
Aw, look at the mess you made. The Marshal's gonna get cranky.
Bravo! Well fought! 3 cheers for—
Stop! Camargue, we're not doing that.
I'm sure she'll understand. And you could also, you know...
Assassination attempt. Before breakfast? Rude. Nice to see I'm not the only one who's tried to end you, Inquisitor. Unlike that idiot, I live to tell the tale. And hey, you got that sweet voice box out of the deal.
As I was about to say, you could also just, you know, beam the body out into space, thus not leaving a mess.
Yes, you tried, and you failed. Fortunately for you, I'm a loyal servant of the Emperor. Because he wishes it, you're still standing. Should that change, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, won't we?
Believe me, if we get to that bridge, I'll be the one blowing it up underneath you. But for now, the Emperor says we have to play nice, so this is me, playing nice. See you at Jupiter Station. Unless your yeoman puts a shiv in your back on the way.
Right, be seeing you.
The Defiant is ready to receive you, Inquisitor. Step onto the transporter pad when you're ready.
Okay, well, let's head back to the Defiant. Unless you're playing with friends, then you may not be on the Defiant.
Jupiter Station. I am Marshal Kathryn Janeway of the Terran Empire. Surrender, and your lives will be spared. Resistance, as the saying goes, is futile. Make the smart choice.
As I said, if you're playing this with friends, there are 5 different Defiant class ships that you can end up in charge of. I guess party leader, I would assume, is the case. Ends up on the Defiant. I don't recall all the names of the other ones, but they were... The ones I do recall were like the Belfast, the Warspite. I think one started with a V. But yeah, there's like 5 different Defiant class ships that if you're playing with friends in total, you can end up with. Let's go ahead and continue.
Request denied, Marshal. I'd advise you to surrender while you're still able to do so.
A predictable response, Marshal. I suggest we teach them the error of their ways. My crew and I stand ready to lead the charge.
I think you got a little something brown on your nose there, Inquisitor.
Screw you, Tilly.
Enough. Inquisitor, the honor is yours. Teach them a lesson they'll never forget. Those who manage to survive, anyway.
It shall be done in the Emperor's name.
Inquisitor, I have 17 cases of Romulan ale that say we're earning the most glory today.
Make it 20 and you're on.
Yeah, gotta got that.
Done. Good luck scoring even a single kill in that little bucket of failure.
We'll see about that.
I will say that that does leave me slightly curious as to, See, I haven't gotten around to watching DS9, so I'm not quite sure what the deal is with the ISS Defiant. I'm going to assume there's something in DS9 that would explain it, and Jesus Christ, there's... The game audio is super freaking loud compared to me. At least in my opinion. I'm gonna have to lower that a little bit in post. But yeah, no. At least, you know, looking at the USS Defiant, I think you're a little hard-pressed to refer to it as, you know, a failure.
There is a matter of emphasis.
It won't be a problem for long. Concentrate fire on the defense outpost.
Also, who's in the Enterprise? Because obviously, Marshal Janeway's in the Voyager. The Rescava would be Kumarke.
Satellites have been eliminated.
killed a lot of good people out there. And for what? What the hell do you want?
You'll find out soon enough, Commander. Surrender and prepare to be boarded.
Is Tilly in the Enterprise? Because that's the only thing that would make sense to me, is if Tilly's in the Enterprise. Because like I said, Camarque should be the Rescava and Janeway is in the Voyager. And obviously we're in the Defiant, so the only other person who doesn't have a ship would be Tilly. Interesting that Tilly's in the ISS Enterprise. I mean, I realize that Lita is in the Prime Universe, in prison-ish, at this time. So, I will admit, I am a little bit surprised that Tilly managed to get stationed on the Enterprise or something and, you know, kill her way up to the top, presumably.
Marshal Janeway, I request a ceasefire to conduct rescue operations.
He's stalling, buying time for reinforcements to arrive. The Empire doesn't negotiate with prey. Let's knock down their shields and take what we came here for.
This insolence of yours is getting tiresome, Captain. Remember your place, or I will gut you like a fish and kick your carcass out of the nearest airlock. What is it, Inquisitor?
Oh, shit, I said something and I wasn't paying attention.
Marshal Janeway.
He stopped.
This insolence of yours is getting tiresome, Captain. Remember your place, or I will gut you like a fish and kick your carcass out of the nearest airlock.
Defiant to Voyager. Damn it, game.
What is it, Inquisitor?
We're reading several Starfleet vessels approaching at high warp, Marshal. They'll be here in moments.
Battle stations. Fire to disable. If Starfleet is so concerned about rescue operations, let's give them something to rescue. It'll keep any more would-be reinforcements occupied.
As you wish, Marshal, for the Empire.
Tactical. Fire to disable.
Let's keep these Starfleet weaklings a lesson.
Oh. Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot the Rescava, don't mind me. No. What's a little bit of friendly fire between friends? Not that us and Camarque are necessarily friends. Well, in theory. Also, I wish they'd given us a pilot Defiant. I'm pretty sure the legendary Defiant is a pilot. I would have liked that version.
You won't get away with this. Whatever you're after.
Called it. He needs to be broken or killed. I'm good either way.
Of course you are, Killy.
Very well. We'll disable the station, but I warn you, if the Emperor's prize is damaged or lost, I'll kill each of you myself, slowly. An agonizer booth at maximum setting will feel like mercy by the time I'm done with you. Do I make myself clear?
As Crystal, Marshal. Fire to disable only.
There's a price for defying the Terran Empire, and I am here to collect. Tactics concentrate fire on their habitat.
Do not risk the loss of the Emperor's prize. All right, they're at our mercy. It's time to do what we came to do. Let's beam down to the station and take the Emperor's prize.
Beaming over now, Marshal.
Prepare yourselves. We've got their backs to the wall, and something tells me they won't go down without a fight.
As we planned then, 2 teams. Team 1's objective is to disrupt their security systems through sabotage. Team 2 will gain access to critical systems and take control of them.
Once that's done, we can use their transporters to beam directly to where the Emperor's prize is located, and take it. Try not to get roughed up by a bunch of scientists and lab assistants.
You do the same. Failure is not an option.
Let's get moving, Inquisitor.
As you wish, Marshal.
We've got intruders in the storage area! Repeat, intruders in the storage area!
That didn't take long.
Of course not. Kill the medics first. 'Cause they're the most annoying to deal with. Mostly just because they revive other people. And I hate dealing with them reviving other people.
They're here! Phasers on stun! Open fire!
Phasers on stun, eh? Too bad ours are set to kill.
Okay, these guys are just gonna run right past us. That's acceptable, I guess.
So they're angry geeks and nerds. Got it.
Another medic.
Huh. One of them almost hit me. I'm impressed.
Here's where we part company. Get the job done, Team 2.
We won't fail you, Marshal.
We won't fail you. Ugh. Let's go, Camarque. You know, when you're done kissing the Marshal's backside.
See, unlock the door out of the promenade, then proceed to the security station on the deck. Or on this deck, rather. Try not to get killed by the angry nerds, Captain.
Enough. Someone get these doors open.
Roger that.
I'm on it. Got it. Ready when you are, Marshal.
So some of these doors have like little Easter eggs, I guess. Or, you know, some of them, not all.
They're beaming in.
You're trapped. Surrender now and no harm will come to you.
Well, that was a terrible plan. You guys should not.
Fields. Took them long enough.
We need to keep moving.
They really should not have jumped down here like that.
I'll reconfigure the isolinear chips here and shut down power to the fields.
Camarque and I are in position. Waiting on you, Marshal. Tick-tock.
You got a little delayed.
There. Stand by.
Marshal, you can help. You can help. You literally just helped previously. Thank you. You know, wait until everybody else is dead except for the last guy, and then you chime in.
Commander, do not let them gain control of that station under any circumstances.
Marshal, just go inside and help. Sometimes
Get those bombs planted, Inquisitor.
Sometimes you want to help, and sometimes you don't, apparently.
On it. Cover me while I work.
Good luck with that part.
Clock's ticking. Still haven't heard any explosions. Having troubles?
Not as many as you'll have if you don't stop distracting us.
Actually, yes, having a little bit of trouble. Character is a little bit slow to actually get down and start arming the explosives, and doesn't help that Marshal Janeway ain't doing a whole hell of a lot to actually keep these guys off me. I can't exactly arm the explosives if I'm dead.
Charge is set. Get to a safe position. Move!
Let's step a little bit further back.
Nice kaboom! We intercepted their security protocol transfer. Camarque is taking control as we speak.
Wonderful.
Good. Once you take their internal sensors offline, we can move undetected. For now, drop the security fields.
Sure, if you ask me nicely.
Captain, you are on dangerously thin ice here. Get that security field down now. Inquisitor, there's a Jeffries tube nearby. We'll use it to go between decks.
As you wish, Marshal.
All right, it's down. Go!
Watch out!
You know, just throw weaponized dark matter at a group of, what, 6 or 7 Starfleet officers?
There's the Jeffries tube. Let's get climbing.
I think that was said Deck 79.
Alert when there's still Terrans on board.
That's a mystery you'll never solve, I'm afraid.
This is the transporter room. Take the lead. Breach and clear.
Little help, Admiral? Oh, come on, game. Game was failing to auto-select a new target. Didn't realize I was playing Baldur's Gate.
Right. Beam us directly to the medical ward.
Energizing.
What's the holdup? We need to get out of here before Starfleet overruns our position.
Starfleet's adapted their security protocols. We're locked out of the transporter controls. Time to go to Plan B. Meet us at the hub on Deck 7. Janeway out.
Lead the way, Marshal.
Get to the hub as fast as you can.
Oh, lucky for us, it's right here.
I love running.
Oh, you were talking to them, presumably.
Stop!
Again, take out the medics.
Can I count on you if things go sideways?
Of course, Marshal.
Would never backstab you. Never do that.
Commander, we've got more contacts incoming!
Damn, we're in a tight spot.
Didn't manage to kill him before he revived him.
Marshal? Inquisitor? How nice of you to join us.
Technically, you joined after.
Stop to replicate some coffee on the way?
Fighting now. Coffee later.
Might actually prefer coffee now.
We're clear for now, Marshal.
Oh, excuse me. Deck 7B, not 79. Okay, let's discuss our backup plan.
Time to change things up a bit. Inquisitor, you and Tilly will get us access to the turbolifts. Kumarke and I will focus on disabling the security lockouts. Once that's done, we should be able to get to the medical ward using turbolifts. We'll rendezvous there.
Do you want to go ahead and apologize real quick for the game suddenly being very stuttery in the recording? It's perfectly smooth for me, but for some reason OBS is throwing a hissy fit and just, yeah, having a hard time. The frames seem to be missing due to recording lag for some reason, even though this game is nowhere near resource intensive enough to where my GPU should be struggling to properly render the frames for the recording. But yeah, I do want to say I think they did a wonderful job making a Starfleet station. It is absolutely beautiful in my opinion, but let's get away from the railing because that seems to have been the cause of the lag to some extent. Understood. We'll see you there, Marshal.
Interesting that the Marshal pulled that little team switch. What do you think she's up to?
Maybe she's hoping we kill each other, so she won't have to.
Let's see. Authorized personnel only, authorized personnel only. I saw this one as we approached. Caution, monster closet. Do not open this door. Seriously, just don't.
This is Janeway. What's your status?
About to take turbo lift control. Stand by.
Ready phasers. They're here.
Let's get this party started, nerds!
Watch your fire. We need functional controls once we clear the room.
Less talky, more shooty.
Don't hold me down. I'm just gonna hide for a second.
Victory at last.
Another monster closet.
Inquisitor to Marshal Janeway. We've secured turbo lift control. Your orders.
Hold your position, Inquisitor. Captain Kumarke tells me she needs about 15 seconds to finish cracking their security overrides.
I was gonna say something about these monster closets, but you know what? I'll wait until after this section. Acknowledged, Marshal, standing by.
So, did Grandma Janeway ask you to kill me? I mean, I'd be insulted if she didn't.
Janeway here. We've done our part. Ball's in your court now, Inquisitor.
Yeah, we'll get right on that, Marshal.
Yeah, I think that's why these are called monster closets, because that's literally the place these guys spawn out of.
There's a countermeasure blocking me here. You need to reroute through that console.
Already on it.
Reroute complete.
Starting on the second lockout. Cover me!
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that these guys that come out through the hallway are potentially coming from that monster closet down the hall.
Try it now.
Almost there. Just a few more seconds.
Yeah, I think they are, because they're definitely not spawning like right in front of the door.
Got it! Turbo lift control is restored.
And one guy got stuck in here, it looks like. Which is not the first time it's happened. When I played this on my main, the same thing happened.
We have turbo lift access here. Proceed with the plan. Kumarke and I will meet you at the objective.
And Tilly is very interested in trying to get to him. We're on our way, Marshal. Damn it.
I think Janeway will convince Kumarke to betray me.
That seems unlikely. Your pet is very loyal.
Is loyal really the term we would use? Said to Deck 3B.
What are you even here for? You aren't working for the Marshal.
I work for the Emperor.
Personal shield losing power.
It still doesn't tell me why you're here.
Does it really matter?
To make sure the job gets done.
I mean, sure, but does it really matter?
So, what's so important about the Emperor's prize, anyway?
Ask the Emperor. I'm sure he'd love explaining himself to you.
Wow. Stick with your day job, Inquisitor. Comedy is not your strong suit.
The joke will be on us if we don't stay focused.
we go. I assume all of these are authorized personnel. Yes, that looks to be the case. He brought some friends along too. Got a bit of a party going on behind you, Camarque. And not the fun kind of party. Janeway's a little slow.
Beginning decontamination sweep.
This ends now, Terrans. It's over.
Oh, shit.
You're right, Commander.
Just gonna...
It is over. For you.
He's like, I'm just gonna get next to you.
No way I'm letting you take... Ah! One for emergency transport.
Started getting on the last nerve.
Threat neutralized. The prize is ours for the taking, Marshal.
Indeed. Inquisitor, if you would do the honors and open the door.
Gladly.
Huh. I expected someone more impressive.
Let's get this over with.
Yeah, let's do that. To be honest, I didn't think you'd make it this far, but I'm happy to finish you off now. You've had the Emperor's favor long enough. It's our time for glory now.
Really? Well then. If you want to kill the Queen, you need to deal with her pawns.
Hey now, some of them might not be pawns. Some of them might be
You're not
knights
as
or
loyal
rooks
as
or
you'd like
bishops.
to believe, Inquisitor.
One of them might even be a king.
Nothing personal.
Or
Make the better deal.
And it was for a lot more than Romulan ale.
Perhaps we should gloat after the battle is won.
What the? She's got some sort of invulnerability shield.
oh, shit.
She's adept. Her shield is down. Now's our chance. Open fire.
Or are we not doing the whole chest thing?
She's adapted. Eliminate Borg drones to make her vulnerable.
I wish fighting the Borg was
Her
like
shield is
this.
down. Now's our chance. Open fire.
I really do. Oh, shit. Sorry about that. Camera freaked out.
She's adapted. Eliminate Borg drones to make her vulnerable. Her shield is down. Now's our chance. Open fire.
That was not the one I wanted to throw that at, but okay, game, that's fine.
Personal shield losing power.
She's vulnerable. Let her have it.
Oh, shit, okay, her shield never went back up this time.
Mark my words, traitors. You will burn for this.
I'll give the old girl credit. Making a Borg army out of the Starfleet goons we dropped along the way was a solid move.
Ingenious. Let's hope she's not making more as we speak.
If she is, they'll be Starfleet's problem, not ours. If the Marshal survives, she'll be stuck here. Shouldn't be too bad. I hear Federation prisons are soft and comfy.
For her, well, yeah, I guess technically the way things work is Camarque's ship has the tech to open up the rifts. So never mind. A fate worse than death for a Terran like the Marshal.
Yeah, that's her problem, not ours. Get the transporter beacon on the Emperor's prize so we can beam her out of here.
Right, let's get the prize and ourselves out of here. Although I suppose, couldn't she technically go to the Badlands as a way to help her get back home easily? Relatively speaking, at least.
The Emperor's prize is ours. Let's beam up and get back to our universe.
One to beam up. Energize.
The rest, as they say, is history. Let's discuss how we resolve this fine little mess. Preferably over some coffee. I think that could be arranged.
And during that whole thing, my character finally acknowledged the uniform change. Because when we got that first cutscene when Marshal Janeway walked in, we were wearing the Alliance one, but I had switched to this. Now the game acknowledged that, oh wait, they switched to the Odyssey one, so I guess, you know, we took a break, maybe spilled some coffee on my outfit, so I had to go and change or something.
So now we know who the Terrans were after. What we still don't know is why. Perhaps you can shed some light on that, Marshal. That information is above even my pay grade, Admiral. Only the Emperor knows, and he isn't one to share such secrets willingly. I suspect you know more about the Emperor's prize than I do. What's so special about that woman? We know she's one of ours, Lieutenant Ilea, a Deltan navigator assigned to the Enterprise in the late 23rd century. Until recently, she was listed as missing in action after an incident involving a powerful entity in deep space.
Why was she on Jupiter Station?
Recently, she teleported into a Starfleet research station in the Epsilon sector and promptly collapsed. She's been comatose ever since. She was transferred to Jupiter Station for medical care due to her unique physiology.
Okay.
Am I being a bit more specific? Baldness isn't exactly a unique biological trait, especially for Deltans.
According to the researchers on Jupiter Station, Ilea is a hybrid, a fusion of biological and artificial life. Very advanced artificial life. The research team could barely comprehend the nature of her artificial components. One of them told me it made a Soong-type android look crude by comparison.
Well, I don't know how a bald cyborg factors into making the Emperor's ultimate weapon, but he does tend to have plans within plans. Maybe he wants this Ilea to serve as a prototype for some new type of super soldier.
Maybe.
I don't care what he wants. It's our job to stop him and bring Ilea back. So, we need a plan, and we need it fast.
Or maybe somebody that is a hybrid of biological and artificial, parts is a requirement for the big bad plan. As, I don't know, the, targeting unit or something. Who knows? I guess we'll find out at some point during this story. You'll have it, Admiral. Marshal.
By now, Tilly and her cohorts will have returned the Emperor's prize to Terran space dock in our universe. You'll want to move fast and be ready for the fight of your life if you want to bring her back.
Are we gonna have a problem there, Marshal?
Let me be clear. This is an enemy of my enemy situation. I mean to get revenge on Tilly and her lackeys, and working with you will help me accomplish that goal. I see no reason to complicate matters. Do you?
No, I do not.
Then it sounds like we have an understanding. Now let's get to it.
Very well, Marshal. Admiral Lita.
Well. It looks like my recent work with Starfleet on training scenarios has paid off. Never thought you'd have the guts to try anything like that, but what can I say? You're just full of surprises.
Thank you. Will you be joining the operation?
Are you kidding? This is my kind of crazy. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Very well.
And if my help isn't enough, you have 2 Janeways working on this. I can't wait to see what those crazy old birds come up with. Especially after a few pots of coffee.
It will certainly be interesting. Admiral Janeway.
We took some serious hits here today, but they've had their inning. Now it's our turn at bat. Starfleet will put their best and brightest to work on the rescue operation. I've been assured that our allies in the Alliance will do the same. Working together, we survive the Iconian War. We can deal with this Terran incursion as well.
Lighting seems to be a little bit funky, where if the camera's not in quite the right spot, some things aren't actually rendered with the proper lighting. You know, if you look at her comm badge and belt buckle, basically, you know, camera's facing one spot, for some reason they're very dark. As if there's no lighting whatsoever, but then I move the camera a little bit, all of a sudden, they're very reflective, and you also notice a little bit in the background, not quite the same issue necessarily, but, you know, similar thing. Indeed.
One thing's for certain. Starfleet needs to improve the defenses here at Jupiter Station. I have a few ideas on that. But for now, Ilea is our top priority.
Agreed. Let's beam back to our ship.
Captain's log, supplemental. We have the Emperor's prize at last. With Janeway out of the picture, the glory is ours alone. We will learn the secrets of the Emperor's prize by any means necessary.
Kumarke to bridge. We're ready to begin.
To be continued.
The Terrans continue to perplex me. They went to a lot of trouble to kidnap Ilea, despite the incredible risk. It just doesn't add up. Something tells me that the Terran Emperor's plans involve a lot more than kidnapping.
That seems like a safe bet, Admiral. And because I have not done my daily progress for the 12th anniversary event, because I had a side project I was working on that took basically all day from when I started telling it to render last night to like an hour and a half or so ago as of me recording this, which is it's like 12:30 in the morning now. Yeah, so that's the thing that happened. So yeah, I didn't get my daily progress earlier, so we're doing it now, many hours after I normally would have done it. Luckily, that won't really screw up my progress in any noticeable way. But yeah, so that was it for the latest mission added to the game. I want to say Firewall was added like 3 or 4 months back. I don't actually recall exactly. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Let me go ahead and also pause the recording as I do that. For some reason, my freaking button for unpausing recordings wasn't working. Yes, I'd uploaded the episode for Firewall back in October, 3 months back. Well, YouTube referred to it as 3 months ago. And actually, yeah, that works. Probably not exactly 3 months, give or take a week, but either way, yeah. So we will probably see the next story mission, I would assume, in 3 to 4 months from now. I don't know off the top of my head exactly when their sort of release schedule is for missions. I believe it's generally speaking, with this sort of release schedule, has been like a fall release, which would have been Firewall, a release for the anniversary, which is Redshift, and then one like in the spring, summer. Hopefully, depending on how long this story arc is, they don't get stuck doing just one mission per release, because otherwise this, assuming it's the sort of normal length of a lot of these story arcs, which tend to be what, 2, 4, 6, 7, yeah, tend to be sort of around that 6 to 8-ish often. I mean, obviously there's exception. Age of Discovery was only 4, but often they tend to be in that sort of 6 to 8-ish length. This is going to be a very long story arc from beginning to completion if they do only release a single mission each time they do one of these. It's possible it'll be a shorter story arc, though. That's always a possibility. You know, for all we know, maybe it ends up like Age of Discovery, where it's only 4 missions. Who knows? But I'm hopeful that if it ends up being the normal length of 6 to 8 or so missions, that, you know, a couple of times they manage to get out 2 missions in one content release, because otherwise we're going to be waiting quite a while to see the conclusion to this story. But yeah, so that'll be it for this episode. A quick reminder, if you enjoy this series or any of the other series on the channel, admittedly this one now gets stuck waiting for new content to be released, so it doesn't get updated on a regular basis compared to the other ones. But if you nonetheless enjoyed this series or any of the other series on the channel, the 2 best ways to help support the channel are going to be via either my Patreon or the Streamlabs donation link, both of which can be found down below in the description. Patreon does take a cut of 5%, if I recall correctly, is what it is. But in exchange, it's a nice, easy platform for me to be able to go ahead and give you all some extra goodies, which is namely the ability to get early access to videos, as well as your name in the credits and things like that. Streamlabs, however, does not allow me to give you those goodies because there's no nice, easy way for me to, you know, sort of authenticate who's who across various platforms when people do one-time or monthly donations. As a result, Streamlabs is mostly there for the, I don't care about getting any goodies, getting name recognition, or anything of that sort necessarily. You just want to maximize your support to the channel, because if you go that route, nobody takes a cut. The channel gets 100% of whatever it is that you give. So it's entirely up to you which of the 2 methods you would prefer if you wish to support the channel at all financially. That helps me out significantly. Not so much for this series, because I don't really spend too much money on this game ever since the 10th anniversary. Just because 10th anniversary basically gave me all I ever really cared enough about. So yeah, I haven't really spent as much money on this game as I did in the past. But nonetheless, it allows me to be able to go ahead and, you know, buy computer hardware to upgrade my computer in the future. Allows me to be able to buy games that I can play for the channel. Obviously, generally I buy games that I myself am going to enjoy, or at least I think I will. So, you know, not like I'm wasting money if I buy it for myself, but obviously financial support to the channel helps, because it also allows me to be able to, you know, sometimes take more risks when it comes to what games I potentially buy. Because some games I might hold off on if I'm not 100% certain if I will enjoy it, or if it'll be good for the, you know, something enjoyable for the channel. Just because, you know, there's not a whole lot of info out there, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, so there are ways to financially support the channel if you wish to go ahead and do so. Like I said, Patreon and Streamlabs are the 2 main ways to do it, and they are the best ways to do it. But some series have affiliate links in the description. This is obviously not one of them, because it doesn't have any sort of affiliate system, which I'm perfectly fine with. It's also a free-to-play game, so yeah. But another link down there in the description is a link to my Discord server. That is the go-to place, for me at least, to post about anything going on with the channel regarding changes to recording or streaming schedules and the like. So if you want to stay up to date with what's going on with the channel, I do highly recommend you join the Discord. You don't need to be active. There's 0 requirement to be active in there. I'm not active in most of the servers I'm in. Most of them I'm just there to be able to, you know, nice, easy, central location to get the news about communities that I'm a part of, whether it be for a different YouTuber or it be for a group that translates mangas or whatever the case may be. But yeah, so that'll be it for this part. Like I said, I will see you all presumably in about 3 to 4 months for 1, maybe 2 missions. Cryptic, if you manage to get a second one out, we'll see. But yeah, so I'll see you all next time. Until then, goodbye and farewell. Okay, and my button for stopping recordings has also decided to not work now.